Good morning, everyone. So it is career week, and a career is basically a job. So we will be learning about all different kinds of jobs. And I wanted to start by telling you about my job and how I became a teacher. Okay, let me go to the beginning. So you all know me as Mrs. D. And I love education and helping students. I've been teaching for over 8 years. I love what I do. Uh, I did not always know I wanted to be a teacher, though. It was a long journey for me. So I'll go back to the beginning. I was born in Van Nuys, which is where Kittredge is. I grew up in Oak Park, though. Oak Park is a small town just north of Los Angeles. And there were a few years when I was a kid, I actually really did want to be a teacher. I loved school, I loved my own teachers, and so that's what I wanted to be too. But over the years, that changed. For a while, I wanted to be um, a writer. I thought about being a psychologist. And then when I went to college, I decided I wanted to do business. So yeah, I went to college at Cal Poly, which is in San Luis Obispo, and I was there starting in 2003. And I studied business administration with an emphasis on international management. And that part was really cool. I got to learn about different countries and their cultures, right? How they do business, because people in different countries have different ways of doing things. So I loved that, but I didn't like the business part so much. I just couldn't picture myself in a suit at a desk every day. So I stayed in college, and after I got my business degree, I got my first teaching credential. I got what is called a multiple subject teaching credential, which lets you teach in elementary school. Uh, I finished my credential when there was a recession, which means it was very hard to find jobs, especially teaching jobs. So for a few years, I was a substitute teacher and also a waitress. Right, I worked at restaurants. And during this time, I lived in Hawaii for a little bit because you can substitute teach and work at restaurants basically anywhere. So that was really cool. But eventually, I came back to California. I still wanted a teaching job. It was still hard to get one. So I went back to school. I went to CSUN and I got another credential that would let me teach more different kinds of classes in elementary school. And when I did that, I got a job right away. So I got two credentials, and then I stayed and I also got a master's degree. Um, and then that was all while I was at Kittredge, and I started there in 2012. Okay, so let me share with you about a typical day in my job. I usually get there early. I'm there around 6:45 in the morning so that I have time to plan and prepare everything for the day. So I do a lot of work before you even come. Uh, that way everything's ready to go and we have a plan. During the day, I'm working with the students, so all of you. We do a lot of small group rotations. We're getting up, doing PE and art, all sorts of things. That's the best part of my day, actually. And then during my breaks, I'm usually off looking for other staff members so that we can talk about our plans, make sure we're on the same page, right? That we have similar ideas about what we want to do. And then after school, there's usually some meetings. I'm working on grades. I'm doing paperwork, assessments, data collection, all the stuff that's not as fun, but needs to get done. And you'll find most jobs have that. There's the things you're gonna like and the things that aren't so great. Just a minute, Isley. So what I enjoy about my job, I mentioned most of this already, but I enjoy helping students achieve their best. I enjoy working with all the wonderful teachers at Kittredge, and I really enjoy learning new information about education. There's always lots of really new, fun things to learn about and bring to the classroom. So some important information. When you're looking at a job, you need to know the salary, which is how much you're going to make. So teachers start at about 50,000. That's per year. And as you get more years of experience and more education, you can earn more, up to 90,000. But that takes a long time. You have to have a lot of education, which I do, but you also have to have many, many, many years of experience. So it takes a while to get to that top range, and a lot of hard work. The work schedule is awesome. August to June, you get the summer off. There's not many careers where you get the summer off. Qualifications, you need a bachelor's degree. It can be in anything. So mine was in business, but to be a teacher, it really can be in any area. And then you get the teaching credential for what you want to teach. So you can get the multiple subject teaching credential, special education teaching credential, there's single subject teaching credentials. It just depends which area you want to teach in. So I'll stop there. I'm sure you still have some questions, and I didn't go into too much detail. So in your journal today, you'll write 2 questions about this presentation. So it could be a question about my job, a question about my education, anything. And then after your 2 questions, there's 4 journal prompts that you will do as well. So that's it. I can't wait to hear your questions. I'll answer them in a short video in a few days. All right, have a great day, everyone. Hopefully I see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Zoom. I'd love to see all your faces. All right, that's it.